All right. Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about my previous video. The author that I used as an example in it had made a post about it. I wanted to look into it a little bit, but also just like kind of explain why, the example was just an example and not something to be like to single out this author personally, because that's not like what that was about. It was just like the activity, basically, the fact that these people are engaging in this kind of activity where they're delegating their stake out and receiving votes in exchange most of the time. I don't know how 100% that is either. As I said, it maybe depends on, every case is different. So I just wanted to look into this post real quick. I didn't read all of it, it's very long. Maybe I should do one of these where it's like recap prompt. I'll look into it later. So I don't really know what he means with he saw this coming. I guess he just means like general drama on Hive or something. I don't know. Because like if he knew that he was doing something wrong and that's why he saw this coming, then maybe, don't do it to begin with. So he mentions that this is about my post where I'm discussing his delegation for vote project, and that he's mostly concerned about his to preserve his integrity. But again, like I'm not really like, this isn't personal at all to me. Like I could, I didn't look too deep into this account for the fact that I didn't want to make it personal. Like, because at some point here he says that I should have looked deeper into his account. Like that's literally not the point of the video. I just want to point out the whole delegation for curation thing that's happening, or I shouldn't even call it curation, it's just votes, really. Like that's my issue with the thing. It's not, my issue isn't like who is doing it, who is not. His account was just a good example because he has a lot of stake and he delegates to a lot of different accounts. And if you were to look at the voters, it seems to mirror the delegations quite well, in a way where you can see that a lot of the votes coming in are from people he is delegating to, or accounts, I should say. He also mentioned something here about like that I didn't tag him, and that I didn't like communicate this with him before posting. I'm not really sure what, why this was necessary or why this should have been done. Like what would be the point of me like contacting you and being like, yo, I'm gonna make a video about delegation for votes and I'm gonna use you as an example. Like, what is the point of me warning you before I make something, like I make a video of that? It's not really, I don't really see why that is necessary. And as I said, like it's not really about you at all. It's about the activity itself. So I don't know how much more I should look into this post. It seems like he took it personally, which was not the reason or like what I was going for at all. It's uh it's a bit weird that no one commented on this post, which maybe, proves my point kind of, that if you're just delegating out your stake in exchange for guaranteed votes, and then you're kind of like mostly just commenting, bot commands, and not really trying to get an audience anymore, but maybe that's the reason why no one wanted to, consume the whole post and leave a comment, because maybe it's like fallen off a little bit in terms of receiving consumption and engagement. I don't really know. It seems like he became a bit more active now after that post. I think I showed his comments activity in the previous post, where it was mostly just token commands. So this seems a bit, the timing seems a bit sketchy after my video that he became so much more active now. So I don't really know. I don't, I'm not trying to like judge him or anything. Uh, I guess he doesn't really have any stake to curate with. He said that I should look into his activity and stuff like that. Like, this seems like curation compilations. This seems like a real uh, post that I voted up earlier. This seems like a real post as well. Let's look into his community account, I suppose. Like, they also seem very similarly to his main account, where it's, send out delegations, receive votes. Uh, see the beneficiaries. Beneficiaries they're talking about. What was this? 70% auto rewards automatically burned. Is this a once a week thing? Seems to be a once a day thing. Seems like an automatic post. I'm not really sure why someone should receive 30% for these if there's nothing. It says 30% would go. The reason for that, but the reason for 30% is curation purposes. I don't really know what that means if they're not really showing what they're curating or getting rewarded for the curation. Like, they're not really proving anything that they're curating anything here. So I don't even think this is worth, this is allowed, or like that this should be acceptable, just a random burn post, but someone's still getting 30% for no reason, even though the post is just uh copy copy pasted every day. I don't know what these are. Some kind of contests. But they're also not really getting much engagement. Here it seems like they're getting some more engagement. Okay, never mind. Like, I don't know. I think I was quite clear of my issue in the previous video. I don't know why this user went ahead and made such a long post about it. Like, it doesn't really matter what you've done or what you have accomplished in the past. If I started doing this on my own, I would fully expect people to call me out on it, and I wouldn't be mad that they didn't, uh, like warn me before or contact me that, hey, I'm about to make a video where I'm using you as an example. I don't really think that's anything wrong with that personally. Like, if you feel attacked, then I apologize. That wasn't really the idea behind it. But if people decide to start downvoting, adjusting the rewards a little bit on such content, or at least like such votes, basically, because the votes are the important thing here. It's not the content or the author at all. It's the voting activity where you're receiving votes based on how much stake you've delegated to a project. The project is profiting some from your delegation, I assume, and then you're also profiting from receiving votes from that project. So it's a win-win for you two, and it's going to be like a lose for everyone else on the platform, because we're all sharing the same currency, the same platform, and a very limited rewards pool inflation. So that's like my main point about it. And I've talked to some other stakeholders as well, and they've also agreed that something should be done about these, like, incentivized voting, where it's all about how much more rewards can they make if you're delegating to them. So yeah, I don't know. Like I may start doing some reward adjustment here in the near future. I don't really have too much time, as I mentioned in another video, and or like I think it was an interview I did for Hive Thrive. That usually I would spend a lot more time on this, even though it's, you guys know how downvotes are on Hive. All you get is headache. All you get is wasting a lot of time trying to explain to people why you're doing it. You don't really win anything from it. You don't really get anything positive from it in any way, really. There's very few people who appreciate people who go around and try and protect the reward pool. Instead, all you get is hate. All you get is, rumors and negativity spread about your username and your activity and downvoting. So it's really not something that's nice or fun to do. It's just like very, very a lot of negativity, and I wish me or no one else had to do it. But when you see this kind of activity like springing into life and becoming bigger and bigger, and you know that overall it's a bad thing for Hive, it's a bad thing for retention, for new users, for stake distribution, then you gotta do something about it. There's no point in like just hoping they would get tired of this, or that, like I don't know, I don't really know what more I can say about this thing. And I just kind of wanted to make a quick video where I just explained that it's all about this activity. I'm sure there's a lot of users participating in this activity, and I think we should treat all of them equally. Not, of course, it's not going to be easy if some of them react more harshly to downvotes or, all these other things. It's not going to be easy to not judge them based on their reaction on the downvotes or the reward adjustment, because we're all human after all. But I think people should need to understand that, these kind of like business models where everything relies on the delegation and how much Hive you get in exchange in the form of votes, that's not something you should like aim towards, because author rewards aren't guaranteed. They're not supposed to be guaranteed. If you're constantly getting the same author rewards no matter what you're posting, no matter how much engagement you're getting, then there's obviously something wrong there. And yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to say. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video, hopefully about something else this time.